The agenda.
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item is the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I second it.
Been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak to something not on the agenda? Go ahead, Mr. Smith. State your name and address for the record.
Jerry Smith, 1308 High Street, Baldwin City, Kansas. This is the same subject that I brought up the last time I was here. And I didn't really think I got the answer. I'm looking through that again. I don't have an addition to that. I don't want that on. You don't want to hear me. The question I asked before was about the 56 highway here and what was going to happen to it, because as I recall, when I was on the council about a year and a half ago, we discussed this, how this was going to be done, and it was partly done with the DOT. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And we had to put up $2 million, I believe it was.
Well, I'll address
Scott.
it all at the end during council comments, but is that what your question is?
Do we have the $2 million is my question.
Well, it's a state funded program.
Yes, you get your money back, but don't you have to put the money up front? I thought in the council that we discussed it before, we had to have $2 million to start with. But at the end of it, the DOT paid us back. Is that right, Corey?
I remember that.
So is that correct?
Yeah, something like
So
that.
do we have the $2 million to get the project going? Isn't it supposed to go this month?
No, but again, we'll address everything at the end during council comments. So we can go through all that at the end. But this really isn't supposed to be a back and forth right now.
I didn't go back and forth, just asked a question.
Yeah.
The second question is, we also discussed solar panels for electricity. And I think Scott did most of that because he's done the work on it, I think. Is there anything moving forward on the solar panels for electricity that we're just going to do?
We'll make a note to address that too at the end as well.
I don't want to wait that long.
This is not a Q&A, as you know, being on the council. It's comment section time, and we'll discuss some of these things at the end just so that everybody has an answer.
And also, is there a when you're discussing it, is there a third generation or third generator in the middle that we're going to have or going to need?
For the solar panels? I just want to make sure
As
that we
the
address.
solar panels as well as the generator? Do we need both?
It depends.
And how far along are we on the before we're going to put the electricity through?
Substation.
Yeah, I think we addressed that on a previous council meeting, but we'll revisit it here at the end.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Anybody else like to speak to something that's not on the agenda? Seeing none. Go on to special reports and presentations. So we have a proclamation I'll read. And this is a long one. So, whereas Douglas County Community Foundation has since 2000 been a public charitable organization for the people of Douglas County, including the cities of Eudora, Baldwin City, Lawrence, and Lecompton. Whereas DCCF was founded thanks to a major gift from the late Tenzie Oldfather of Lawrence. Tenzie, who gave generously to a wide variety of area causes, hoped that her example would attract other gifts to the foundation. It's for anyone who wants to help, she said. Whereas DCCF is a community leader with the mission to connect the diverse citizens and communities of Douglas County through charitable action and to create permanent philanthropic resources for the current and future needs of our community. Whereas one of the greatest ways to ensure a strong community, economic vitality, educational success, and effective community leadership is through the active presence of a community foundation that allows for local community-based endowments. And whereas DCCF provides beneficial grants to our communities, supports critical community causes and efforts, strengthens nonprofit services, and makes our community stronger. Whereas DCCF, over its 25-year history, has granted more than $668,000 to Baldwin City nonprofit organizations, including multiple grants for projects including the Lumberyard Arts Center and Baldwin City Library. And whereas it is critical to set aside a time to recognize the value and impact of community foundations on a statewide, regional, and local level for their investment, partnership, and leadership they create across many of Kansas's communities. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Casey Semino, do hereby proclaim as today, which is August 5th, 2025, DCCF and Baldwin City 25 Years of Charitable Action Week, and encourage all citizens to recognize and support the impact that Douglas County Community Foundation and its donors have in our community. So, do we have some people here from? Okay, if you want to just stand up and kind of introduce your organization to the council.
My name is Heather Hoy. I am the Director of Philanthropy and Community Relations for DCCF, and I also run Leadership Douglas County. And there are several grads right up on there right now, so thank you all for participating. And I also want to say we're going to have a party on Thursday on Sullivan Square. 300 free scoops of ice cream and music by the Megan Luttrell Trio. Megan's also a graduate of Leadership Douglas County. So we're hoping to see everyone in Baldwin City out from 5:30 to 7:30 on Thursday. And thank you for recognizing DCCF.
Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Lori Trenholm, also with the Douglas County Community Foundation. I'm the Director of Community Investment. So I work on the money out side. That means grants and scholarships, whether that's DCCF programs, donor advised funds, designated funds, and scholarships for our youth to finish their educational dreams. So thank you all so much for having us. And as Heather said, we're going to have a fun party on Thursday evening. Hope all of you can join us, as well as all of you who are able to make it at 5:30, right? We are celebrating our 25th anniversary as the Community Foundation of Douglas County. So thank you all for the great work that you do here too.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Give you this.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You guys want a picture?
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to take it? Oh, let's got it.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay.
Are we home?
Oh, we can't sit here and do it?
You just photoshopped them right. Oh yeah.
All right, this is the part where it gets awkward, right?
I was
They gonna Photoshop you in.
You're good.
You're way out.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have council hiring committee for the city administrator. And I believe we have somebody from the league here to present. All right.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My name is John Deerdoff, and I do represent the league through their LEAPS search program. But let me just give you a quick little background of myself. I'm a 40-year city manager, all in Kansas, 15 years in Hutch. My last retired in 2019. I was in Dodge City for about 13 years. My first job was in Sterling, Kansas, as a city manager. And so I've had a good career all here in Kansas. And you know, when you retire, it's just hard just to go cold turkey. So I kind of started doing some consulting and doing some searches kind of on my own. I had a partner for a while. Then I served as the interim executive director at the league. And during that time, kind of realized that the league was doing searches. And I thought, you know, maybe a good partnership that we could forge there. And so we started doing that probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And basically, I'm the person that represents at the council, talks to candidates and does all that. The league, Nikki at the league, provides all the kind of the back end stuff. And so it's really worked out really well. The league has been doing searches since 1982, I think, and they've done over 100. I've been involved personally with about 30 searches and really enjoyed the work. I love working with councils, elected officials, and keeping in contact with candidates that are out there. And, it's not an easy process these days. There's candidate pool is a little bit smaller than it used to be, just not a lot of younger people going into the profession. But Baldwin City is a good community. You got a lot to offer here, and I don't think there's going to be much of a problem attracting some good candidates. But let me talk a little bit just about our process. And so step one basically would start with a survey of the council, and some communities would invite community members to be a part of that. And basically to just fill out a quick survey. Doesn't take a lot of time to start developing the candidate profile that you're looking for, the type of person, experience level, expertise area, education levels, those kinds of things. Then once we get all that, we then start developing the what I call the community profile, this is just an example of one we did for Goddard, but it just talks a lot about the community, the college, and all the good things you have put together, plus then the candidate profile about what you're looking for. So that'll take some time, but your input in that is very, very important. And then step two, basically we start looking at, where we're going to place the job advertisement. And a lot of times people talk about, we don't want to go nationally. We don't want to go region. We just want to do Kansas. Well, nowadays you can say we're going to do Kansas and regional. It's still going to go national. So we'll get candidates from all over the place. But, primarily my focus that I've worked on has pretty much been in Kansas and in surrounding states. But occasionally we'll get some people from Florida. We hired a guy in Marion just here about a month ago that's from Florida, and not from there because he's from Emporia. So he had a tie back here. So sometimes, that'll happen. So then we gather these resumes, and we always have them come into a site at the league. So we keep confidentiality there. And then I'll keep in contact with the mayor as to, how that process is going. Hey, we've got, 10 applications so far. We've got quite a bit of ways to go yet. Just kind of keep you updated on that process. And then once all those resumes are collected, then league, we have 3 or 4 people at the league and myself, then we review all the resumes and then we rate them, and we have a ranking system. And a lot of times we're totally different, but it all averages out. And that's just our opinion on what we see on those resumes. And then we put together all the resumes, and we'll put them in a book, and you'll get this book, well ahead of a meeting that we would have. And at that point in time, then I would come back and meet with you all and talk about each one of these resumes. And there may be some resumes that we rank, very low, but you might say, well, I really like this one. And that's part of that whole process. And hopefully out of that meeting, we come up with, 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever you think finalists that we would take to that next level. And normally that is in-person interviews. And sometimes communities, maybe there's 7 or 8. Well, you don't really want to interview that many people. And so we might do some other ways of kind of reducing that down. We could do a couple of Zoom interviews, if you will. It's not ideal, but certainly something that we could do. And so, and during all this time, I'm in direct contact with candidates. And one of the things I hear a lot from candidates with other big search firms, they just don't, they're not kept up to date as to how this process is working. And so that would be my job. You don't have to worry about that. Let them know kind of where we're at, when we're meeting, kind of what I think kind of their status is at this point in time. And then, of course, after, you guys are selected, then I make all the contacts. We let all the candidates know right away whether they're no longer in consideration or that they've made the interview cut. And that's the other thing is a lot of these people talk about, well, we don't really want to notify everybody until the process is over because we might go back into that pool. But that could be a whole month or 45 days later, and candidates need to know kind of where they stand. And so we would handle all that. We would help you set up the interviews, however you want to do that. Sometimes it's just with the council. I always say the council, that's your hire. But some communities want to have a community input in some way, and maybe have a couple people from the community on the interview group. But that's entirely up to you. And so we set up those interviews, organize them, bring a list of questions for you to consider. Certainly, you'll have your own questions, but we'll provide a list of those for you to get the process rolling. So once that's done, if we end up, luckily, hopefully, we've got a candidate that's unanimous, and you guys are excited, and the candidate's ready to come. Of course, we'll do background checks on them, do a lot of that back end work for you, and then at some point in time, if you guys are ready to make an offer, then we start talking about a contract. And normally, we at that point turn it over to the city attorney or the mayor to kind of handle those negotiations. And you probably have a contract already for the last administrator, but we've got some sample contracts if you don't. I can help with that process if I'm needed. Some places I've done that. But a lot of times we just turn it over to the mayor, city attorney, and start that process at that point in time. And where we advertise, just to give you an idea, of course, the Kansas Association of City Managers, the league site, KU, the KU City Manager site, ICMA, which is important. Look at other surrounding states. Typically, we'll look at Nebraska, Iowa, Oklahoma, Missouri, maybe Colorado, and at least advertise in those associations. But beyond that, it's up to you. If there's some other places you would want to advertise, we could certainly do that as well. But again, even that regional touch will reach out, all across the country. And so, as I said earlier, the environment's just a little bit different these days than it was back when I first started in this process, and I've been through interviews myself, and there are 40 or 50 applicants, and you're thinking, wow, and nowadays it's just not that way. We're seeing it not only for us, but other, the larger firms as well. So, the other thing I would mention, and for you to be thinking about, is what I call non-traditional candidates. And, back in the day, you were either a city manager, administrator, and that's who you're going to look at. But I've seen a lot of success from, maybe department directors, the public works directors, sometimes police chiefs, people with that organizational experience in a city, that is something that you shouldn't overlook. And we're starting to see a little bit more of that. And I think in Mound Ridge, we ended up hiring a former public works director there. So those are ways to kind of expand that pool a little bit. So really, that's just a quick summary of kind of our process. Time-wise, a lot of it depends on you, how quickly you want to move. Usually I'm going to say 60 to 90 days, just depending upon how long you want to have the ad out on the street. So, but I would just kind of open it up to see if there's any questions that any of you have about our process or about the process in general, and just really say we'd love the opportunity to work with you on finding your next administrator.
So the process can be kind of paired to whatever the council feels
Yes.
like they would like to see.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different ways of doing it. You don't want to get it, we talk about sometimes, and I always like having candidates come in kind of back to back, if not on the same day, a couple, 4 or 5 days a lot. But, if you spread it out over 2 weeks, you kind of lose that continuity of candidates you interviewed a week ago. And okay, I kind of forgot that. So, but yeah, it's entirely your process, and you may have some ideas that I haven't even thought of. But again, it's your process, and we're here to really help just facilitate that.
John, appreciate you making the effort to
You bet.
present to us. Now, we have your proposal. I assume that's still valid?
Yes.
You saw
Yeah.
LEAP's proposal?
Well, the tariffs have come out now. So
That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking.
I don't know if tariffs are going to affect that or not, but no, we're good.
Oh, okay.
And I think I have a copy, but I think you may have a
Yeah.
copy of that. Yeah. And that's just our standard.
We shared it with the council. We've all
Yeah.
seen it. So
Perfect. Yeah.
So
But again, and if there's any questions between now and whenever, let me know and give me a call. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, except on Wednesday afternoons, which is golf day. So yeah, and Friday afternoon too. But no, I'm kidding. So,
And Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday?
well, no. My course is closed on Mondays, so on Mondays I'm really good. But no, anyway.
Well, we got a sand green 9-hole here in Baldwin that's open
I've
24/7.
been out there. We had a league deal here a couple years back there at the course there, and I remember going in there, that clubhouse, and it was like a volunteer refrigerator. I think you put a couple of dollars in for a beer or whatever. I thought that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, but anyway, well, again, let me know if you got any questions and about anything. And again, we'd love the opportunity to work with you and help you find your new one. So,
All righty.
Appreciate it.
okay.
you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And ladies.
Was this officially on the agenda for a vote then on,
Yeah, we can take.
since it was old business?
Yeah.
I think that was the intent.
Yeah.
To make a decision tonight if we could, so that
Anybody else like to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none, council discussion. Yeah, I mean, my intent was to go ahead and approve a proposal if that's what the committee felt was the right avenue to go down. And
well, I think, yeah, as we talked about last time, we've shared everything that we have. And John just kind of reiterated a lot of those points. So you saw the other proposal. So I think it's, if everybody's comfortable that they have enough information, then I think the committee would like to see a vote tonight.
So we would just need a motion to approve the League of Municipalities proposal for executive city administrator search.
I move to approve.
They had.
Okay, you can make it.
No, it's Julie.
Go ahead, Julie.
Go on.
You can do it.
I thought the chairperson was supposed to do.
Co-chairs.
Technically,
Since
he is.
when?
He is actually correct. They're all co-chairs. Go ahead.
Here, does anyone care if I make it? Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and make
I move to approve hiring the Kansas League of Municipalities for the hiring process of the new city administrator.
I second it.
Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
My point of contact from here on should be.
Can probably be me or Amber, and then we can filter it
Yeah.
out.
Okay. I'll just as far as the next step and the survey and getting that all out.
Yeah,
So,
we can facilitate. I can help
All right.
facilitate that.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck on your brick choice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have an opinion?
I was going to say, do you have?
What do you think?
Okay. Next agenda item is the Brick Street project for the brick color. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none. Council discussion. So Russ brought in 3 different bricks from our current brick.
Surplus piles or
Yep.
excess pallets that are out there in Public Works. That's full size bricks. I tried to get a kind of a variety of color just so because they're not all the same. These are the color samples that they dropped off for us to choose from. So just kind of needing some direction on what color we think looks best. As far as the color, this would be for what we approved at the other previous council meeting was for the basic for itself, and then the old bricks would go around.
Right.
So I have a question just after I saw the samples and sitting here thinking about it. Is there a way to outline, like, there's black down there and different colors, to outline the maple leaf in like a black and then use a red inside? Because if you go red and red, the maple leaf's just going to blend in.
That's kind of what I was thinking is like the maple leaf should be a contrast
Yeah.
to. So when we pick this brick, are we picking it for the entire project or just the maple leaf?
Well, so this when you guys choose this one, the color that is for just the maple leaf,
Okay.
because the thought process from the previous meetings is that by using old and new, then whatever you guys can always change from there as you move out to the other streets. So.
So I guess what I was thinking with the outline is if we wanted to keep the new roads, if we had to switch to new brick because we're losing too many of the old brick, and we wanted to keep them red, then if we outlined it in black and still chose a red, then we could then still have that and still have the contrast. Where we just go red and red.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You know, we just have to visit with the contractor just to make sure that they could do an outline of that. I don't know if that would be an additional cost or how that all looks.
I mean, I think, didn't we talk about circle cutting is difficult? So it'd have to be a circle, right?
You just
Well,
thinking an outline.
I was
like a
thinking just
tracing of it.
the
So-
first layer of the brick around the leaf was black, and then
Mm.
everything going into there would be red.
But they're going to be different staggered. They're not going to have a common ending point, right? Because they're not all going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, if I'm thinking about the leaf, you know, getting where the line goes.
I get. It makes sense. But I'm just trying to figure out how you'd actually do the.
That's what I'm kind of trying to figure out in my head, how to make that border work with, because you're having potentially two others, you know, sectoring that one with your border. So I just have to visit with the contractor on that just to see if they could do something like that.
I mean, what's the council think? Are we wanting to, if we had to switch to new brick for the roads, are we wanting to keep it red?
Yeah, but I would personally like red for the streets, but if this is just for the maple leaf only, I wouldn't be opposed to a darker color for the maple leaf. And then if
I agree.
if we have to go back to new brick, then for like the roads, then I would want red. But if we were choosing, if the maple leaf had to be the same color as all the streets, then I would say red definitely. But if it's just for the maple leaf, I would be okay with a darker one to give it more contrast.
The darker one that look cool.
Yeah, I think it would look really neat.
And if we do the outline, which I think would look cool, my guess is the price would probably go up just a little bit, just because it'd take more time.
I feel like they have to outline it anyway. So the question is not, or would they? Yeah, Scott, I see what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's going to be some 45s, there are going to be some 90s.
The
You know, so you're gonna see-
brick's going to run parallel to each other,
Right.
and one's going to go into a point, and the end of it's here, and the other one's going to come in.
Right.
It's going
Full
to
brick.
brick like
It's
a
going to
puzzle.
be jagged edge all the way around.
Right. But in my mind, even if, let's say they were using this,
Maybe it looks like the leaf outline.
there would be an outline, I would think, anyway. And so if you could pick the color of the outline and that's all you're changing, rather than you're having to make cuts to correspond. Because if the bricks are going straight, like, I don't know.
That's what you're saying.
If they can make a maple leaf, they should be able to make a border
Yeah, that's
because it's the same. It's the same
Refer
thing.
to the experts.
I'm no
I guess
expert,
it's-
but I watch my kids draw a lot.
So do we want to leave it like, if we had our first choice, there would be a darker border with a less darker color surrounding the lighter colored bricks? Second choice, I mean, you want to do it like that? Because we don't have Jason here.
Yeah, I mean, we could do, you know, first choice if the council wanted to try a border, we could do first choice border color, interior color.
Okay.
Second choice, just all one color. And then let the staff go back and talk to the contractor. If it increases our price, then we'll just go with the solid. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to pay an extra $20,000.
No, I agree.
No.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I say if we approve two different options, option one, option two, if they're the same price, and then if they're not the same price, then go with just the option two, which is the solid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I can't imagine that it's going to be the same price.
But they're still like
I-
to Corey's point. I mean, they're
I
still
get
cutting
it.
the brick, and it's just
But like any contractor, if you're adding something, it doesn't even if it's.
no, Jay. Maybe they just want to do something kind for Baldwin City.
Hey, I'm just saying that they're probably going to add a little bit. Of
Why do you have to be such a pessimist?
Well, I think the first thing is, would everyone prefer a first option, no increase in cost, border option? Let's clear that up first. So, I mean, I'll say I would if there's no additional cost. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, if there's no additional cost.
Okay.
I agree with Jay. There's probably going to be additional cost.
Yeah,
I'm
but
fi-
this
I'm-
is a hypothetical where there is no additional cost.
Right.
Okay. So do we need to get up and look at bricks?
Well, we need to figure out what colors you guys are thinking, I guess.
Well, if you're doing an outline, you would take out the bottom two, I would think, the colonial red and the terracotta paver for the outline. But
I can't tell off a screen. You want to
Get up there and look.
Can you like
Show 'em.
Price is Right these things?
Vanna White.
Casey's gonna do the Price is Right
Like the middle one.
presentation of the bricks.
Looking at our samples, I mean, we only really have two options, right?
That's not.
mm-mm.
Was that for the border?
This is for the border.
Yeah.
But otherwise, all the rest are red.
But are the other red tones contrasting to the? So yeah, we have to hold. Yeah. Let me know if you need help.
One.
I mean,
Well, they can't really see you unless you hold up the other brick.
you need to hold the bricks at the same time.
It's great to see the mayor.
We are putting him to work
Yes.
tonight.
Job. Kind of did it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice. So
This is teamwork right here.
very nice, Vanna. So Russ, I think the question is I don't know how many bricks it's going to take, but isn't there really some way to kind of get similar color and it's not a mix and match like that red one? I mean, is there enough of those to do what we're doing so we have kind of a close to a single color?
So when I went through I looked at all 5 pallets of current brick. I mean, they're all like different shades, and like some of them look like they've, over the years they've faded, and then some of them are really dark, and
Yeah, wasn't the
And we don't know if they can reuse the ones they're going to take out of the center anyway. I mean, ideally, those all pretty much match.
correct, yeah, like all the ones that are in that center section, they do match, but we don't know. Well, the contractor won't know until they tear them out. The fear is that you're going to lose 30% of the current bricks that are there due to just the deterioration over the years.
That leaf may take up 30%.
Yeah.
So I think the ideal thing is to try to reuse the bricks that are there just for a matching perspective.
And then just put a border, and then just do a border around making the leaf, but use the same brick.
For everything but the border and the leaf.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I would think that we should have enough. It's so hypothetical.
I know, I get it.
It's
I'm
like,
just
you just never know until you start tearing into it.
Right.
I thought we were going to use new brick for the leaf and
We are.
the old brick for the.
I think
old bricks gonna be around it. So, but you can see by how much they differ. If you just started pulling bricks off a pallet, it'd be like very unmatched.
It would look pretty weird.
And so I think if you go down and look at what's down there right now, I think it's pretty matched, the bricks.
For the most part,
And if we get, so we just say, well, if we can save those, let's just use those and put them back.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was their thought process. That way they weren't having to,
right,
bring other. I think they're still going to bring those pallets,
sure,
to kind of go through them to make sure for any of the bricks that are chipped that they could put a good one back in.
Right.
I like the slate colors. I mean, even for a border or for a maple leaf, old maple leaf. I know it's not red, but it's definitely contrasting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to go with anything in the future. There's just not really a light brick in there that, where you could go.
Yeah.
I don't have an artistic bone in my body, but I have an opinion. But I mean, those two things can be true at the same time.
We've experienced it.
I know. But so to me, I mean, I kind of like the dark. If it's a dark red street brick, reused brick, I kind of like the terracotta, the yellow, because it's kind of like some of
middle
the
one.
the
Fourth one from
fourth one from the left. I mean,
My first thought was that left darker color as the border, and that one you just pointed out as the middle of the leaf would look nice. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the fourth one from the left is the leaf color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the leftist darkest one as the border.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
They look more natural.
That left darker one looks like it has some red in it from here. Like some undertone of red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely does.
I mean, Julie, thoughts?
Well, the one that Scott picked out, I don't like.
Hey,
tell
I'm just saying.
tell us how you feel.
I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure we knew that was going to happen.
That's not true. That's not true. I just think it's.
So what do you like?
I think the red, the one that's next to that,
On the left of it?
that red
Up-
to the right,
Oh,
Yeah.
just to the right of it?
like where that old brick is,
Sure.
the one right, yeah.
One?
And then with the black around it, I think would be good.
So what if we couldn't do a border then?
If we could,
If we couldn't, so if we can't have a border, do you think those would blend too much?
my concern.
To where,
Wait, Julie, do you like that black better or the other one with the red in it?
isn't that black the one with the red in it?
I don't.
Mac, you took it away. Yeah, I like that one better. I see red.
I see red.
So are you saying if we
I was gonna say
if we can't do the border, you're thinking of doing
No,
a
there's
black
red.
leaf?
No, I'm just saying that if, like, on that color of that red to the right of the one Scott was talking about, if we couldn't do the border, would that blend too much with our red that we already have in place? And so then you wouldn't see the leaf as much. That's clear.
If you can't do a border, you really only have three choices. You have to go with the lighter one that's in the middle, or you have to
Mhm.
go with one of the dark ones.
I agree.
Otherwise, you're not going to have any contrast with it.
Right.
So if you're saying, Julie, you like that one, I think that to get the contrast you're saying only makes sense if you have a border. If
Yeah.
you don't have a border, then you have to either choose a dark leaf or a light leaf.
Right.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, I liked Scott's idea. I was leaning the same way. I like the lighter brick for the leaf. Just because I'd like ideally the leaf to be some kind of orange or red,
Right.
instead of black. And I think it's going to have the most contrast.
So I'm going to try to figure out a middle ground here. Option one, what if we went with the left dark one for the border and Julie's selection for the middle?
I like that.
Option two, if we can't do that because the cost goes up, we go with Scott's for the leaf. Thoughts?
Winner.
Just do the cheap version, Scott.
Please hold them up so we know what you're talking
Yeah.
Nope, not that one.
Oh, yep, there you go.
So
That's first option, if possible.
There's a border.
If it's a border.
if it's bordered. And then option two would be the copper tone. I think that's what it says from here.
You can read that.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Is that what it says, copper tone?
He was up there holding them. He read it.
And I remembered all 8 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thoughts?
Julie, what do you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I don't like Julie's idea.
Saw that coming.
That's not unusual. Yeah, I would go for that.
Scott?
I just think the leaf needs to be lighter color than the surrounding bricks, whether there's a border or the reused bricks. It would definitely be a contrast. Otherwise, because I mean, just look at that. If those are the color of the current street bricks, you might as well just use those. I mean, it's not that much different. Really? I mean, it's in my mind, it's just not a drastic difference between those two bricks. The current red
Yeah,
one.
I guess I was thinking more for the inside leaf too, that using the same similar brick that we would use on the actual street if we had to go switch to new. So those two match.
I don't think, to me, that doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I agree.
The leaf should stand on its own.
I
Is
think
it?
this project is on its own, and then
Yeah.
once we go to the streets, then it's different. But
Yeah.
I'm probably the outlier. I wouldn't mind a dark leaf, but
I'm there too. So Matt, can you get rid of the 3 on the left? We've narrowed it down, I think, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to get options out of the way. And then the 2 that you have stacked on the right. There you go. That's what we're down to.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
I see what you're saying, Scott, about the light, but I think with the border, I think the darker one will pop.
So instead of a border, couldn't we do like a square? The leaf's in the square and then the black is on the outside of it.
That's a
Say
good
that again.
idea.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well.
Have like a square and the leaf is within the square, and then with the red, and then
Our
the
logo.
Oh.
black would be around
We have a
it.
laser pointer. What's going on?
Instead of outlining it, just do
Right.
the rest of the square black.
Aren't you then having 3 colors?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, you would with an outline, anyways.
And then the
Right.
black border, and then you'd have the street part.
You could also do what Scott said and do the outline or this in black, and then use our. I mean, we have extra brick, and put our brick back in for the center of the leaf.
Right.
There's many options.
Many.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna be.
I'm good with really anything. You get.
No, you're not.
I mean,
No, you're not.
I'm abstaining. I'm withdrawn. I mean,
He just wants to get out of here.
yeah, it's like I said, I don't have the artistic
Yeah. Yeah.
mode, so I defer to those that do, and will like whatever it is.
Just saying, no matter what, I'm gonna come and take pictures and tell you guys it looks awesome.
I figured.
You'll probably
Tell us we made a bad decision.
I'm like, you
you'll probably have to get in line.
Even
Good with whatever.
you guys want to do, just put it out there and let's move. Let's go. Let's do it.
I like the 2 options that we discussed, A and B.
What about the third? Are we discounting Julie's third option? I didn't want to.
I mean,
I didn't know we had a third option.
It's the black.
Oh, I see. Oh. It's just an idea.
and I like that idea. I'm trying to visualize it, and yeah,
But it would actually be easier to do than I think a border, because the square would end
right.
with the brick. I mean, they could cut.
Then it wouldn't be in the leaf wouldn't be in the center then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
The square would be right in the center and the leaf would be in the center of the square.
But what he's saying, if the square were dead center, the leaf would be offset.
And they're not going to offset it like that. I think you were saying just put it in the center of a
Mhm.
dark back.
Yeah. And maybe it
So
won't cost us
it'd be
much.
dark all the way around it.
Yeah. Here's a square and it's the leaf in there and then all of it's black around it. Black brick.
Julie, how thick would you want that? Why would you want that? I'm sorry.
Well,
Let's-
just leave it to me and I'll take care of it.
Okay. I defer to Julie, whatever. I'm happy to do that, by the way.
All right. So maybe I'm throwing a little bit of a curveball here, but so Julie, are you kind of saying like if you had a square, you could have everything but the leaf be dark and the leaf it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Be like a leaf on a.
In that case, you're not married to that color because the contrasting, you can pick whatever color you'd want.
Right.
You're also not married to using new brick for the leaf.
That's true.
You could use our existing old brick for the leaf because the new brick is only the black.
I actually like that a lot better. Can we please do that? It would look rugged and cool.
Followed you.
You're saying instead of
I
picking
thought-
one uniform color for the leaf, use our old brick as the inner leaf with the darker.
Just go with the black, use the black for the outline, and then lay our old brick on the outside and the inside of the black.
Okay.
So it'd be the leaf would be old brick, and then outside the square
Be that
would
dark.
be the old brick too.
Dark apricot? Is that what
Yeah.
that's called?
And then that would be the box.
That's the box.
That's the box, and then so that's the only new brick, and then everything else would.
Iron spot, not apricot.
What if we don't have enough old brick?
We have
For
pallets.
the leaf, I think
Have enough?
That
leaf would
intersection
be
would
good.
be fine.
you got to remember to dig up the square at all. You're digging up bricks anyway. Thank you.
We have pallets of that old brick still.
We have about 5 pallets currently, and like those are the ones. I think I brought 3 of them that I took off of pallets.
But I wouldn't want the 2 on the left
Right.
in the project. I mean, I would want the red one.
Right.
I mean, that's just.
I mean,
Me too.
yeah.
I don't know that that's an option. He's telling you that all of those are in there.
I mean, if you wanted to be that specific, you probably need to pick a new brick.
Well, but
We
there's a
thought we were
huge
gonna have
difference
new
in the
brick.
color of those 3 bricks that Russ brought. I mean, how many do you think are close to that red color? Not exact, but
Can you count them, Russ?
no, you don't have to count them. I'm just asking. I mean,
Well, honestly, I would say with that red color, it might be 30% out there. I mean, most of the ones
And
were different.
we got the current ones that are in the
We
street.
have the ones that are currently in the street,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then hopefully when they would start to redo the road bed, they would they're gonna have to dig them out by hand to
Mhm.
be able to salvage those.
So there should be enough of that similar.
Hopefully, yeah, that would be my hope.
I like that, but
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Is
I'll
that,
entertain a motion to that
are you okay
dark-
with that, Julie? Is that
jackpot.
So wait, are we so in love with the square that we no longer want the border, or do we still prefer the border?
Well, the square acts as the border.
No,
No,
that's what I'm saying. No, we're done with the border.
that is the
we go
border.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Well, I just have one
We
more
already
suggestion. No, I'm just.
Well, it might be cheaper if we.
Can I
could
see
do it
that?
I
more.
think it might be. Yeah.
Thank you. So if I make the motion, do I need to say a square with this color with the new brick or with the old brick?
But the old brick is the interior maple leaf, yes.
Yeah.
And exterior of the square.
Right.
Okay. I move to approve. We do the square design with the leaf inside, with the square being the dark iron spot brick and the leaf being our old bricks and everything outside the square old brick.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Corey seconded. Motion passes. All right.
Thank you.
We've had longer discussions about sillier things.
That's true.
Final plat, Russ.
Perfect. All right, so
Centered in this-
we've got the final plat for the Elwood addition. This is located north of 56 Highway between Eisenhower and Washington Street. Basically, the whole parcel is currently zoned commercial. They are platting this off for potential for duplexes. This was heard at Planning Commission on July 8th, and it passed unanimously. It exceeds the limit for lot size that for our requirements, and meets all the requirements that we have.
Is there anybody from public like to speak to this agenda item?
Hey,
Perhaps a brick.
Wait, we speak
We had a lot of
sarcasm, by
weapons.
the way.
If you recall, we applied together as I'm the developer of record for the city of Baldwin for this MIH project. Um, d- if there's any questions, I can address them. We have 4 structures, 8 units. They will be for rent. If anybody would like to see something in person, we've literally completed the exact same project in Garnett, Kansas, about 6 months ago. Moved 7 of 8 families in from out of state, which is a much bigger deal in Garnett probably than it is in Baldwin. But yeah, everybody's happy, healthy. It's great. We got a nice mix of wonderful people contributing to our community. Tend to do the same here as soon as we can do it. So, any questions? I'm here to answer. Right now, the plan is to. Do they have drawings?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can see the highway frontage. There's a state project that will affect that. We went through an eminent domain here some years back over that, and we have no intentions of touching the commercial area at this time, unless somebody has ideas. But from there back, we split it into 4 lots to develop.
Any questions for the applicant?
It's all zone commercial.
Yeah, the whole block is zone commercial. If you
So lot 3s, you're leaving C2 and the rest are doing R2s.
R2, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we are 2, and if the final plat's approved tonight, then we will go on. That will be the next item on our agenda. Rezone that.
Oh, gotcha.
that parcel into.
Yeah,
That was
I
the
apologize. You guys are being kind enough to let me have 2 months worth of meetings in one night. It's the plat of the parcel and then the rezoning. So yes,
I'm just excited to see some building going on there.
well, thank you. We hope to contribute. We've invested in this community for a lot of years, and we intend to continue.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else from the public likes to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none. Russ, the only question I had is any neighbors come forward at the planning commission?
No, we didn't have any. We had one call just to ask questions about it, just for clarification. But once I explained to them what it was for, they were good with it.
Where would I guess I didn't, I probably could answer my own question, but where would the road be to get access to those?
So there would be 2 that would access off of Eisenhower, and the other 2 would be accessed off of Washington Street.
Okay.
And they would have their own driveways. There's no roads for the that's how they're built.
Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve rezone ordinance
Nope.
one. Oh,
Final
sorry.
plat.
Went to the wrong one. I move to approve the final plat for the Elwood addition at Highway 56 and Eisenhower as presented.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, rezone ordinance for this development.
So as you know that we just approved the final plat. This is the rezone ordinance for those back 4 lots. So the rest of that frontage will still stay commercial. It'll still say what we call CP2. This will just go to R2, which is for duplexes. This was heard on Planning Commission also on July 8th and passed unanimously in favor.
Anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none, council discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve ordinance number 1514.
I'll second it.
And moved and seconded. Julie?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Susan? Jay?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Next item is the annual STO ordinance. And Russ, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just to update our code to match what state legislature passed this year. Is that correct, Chief? Yep. Is there anybody here from the public like to speak to this agenda item? It's an exciting one. Any council discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve standard traffic ordinance 1515 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Julie,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Next is similar, the UPOC ordinance. Annual update to our UPOC code
Correct.
from the state legislature. Anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Council discussion? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve ordinance number 1516.
I second it.
Been moved and seconded. Julie,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Corey, Susan,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Next, Vision Zero Transportation Action Plan Resolution 2025-17. Russ.
Yes, so you in your packet, you've got the resolution 2517. This talks about adopting the Vision Zero Transportation Safety Action Plan. Last month at the CDC meeting, we did the presentation on it, what it included, and tonight we have an individual from the MPO that is here to kind of present a very condensed version for you. So I will hand it over to him.
Excellent. Good evening. My name is Stephen Mason. I'm with the Lawrence Douglas County Metropolitan Planning Organization. We were the organization that led this process. So we're talking about Vision Zero tonight. This was funded through a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant administered by the MPO. Baldwin, Lawrence, and Eudora were all participants in the process. We can go to the next. There we go. Vision Zero uses a safe systems approach, which acknowledges human vulnerability and error by designing a transportation system that minimizes the consequences of mistakes. It's got 5 pillars: safe roads, streets that are designed to prevent crashes and reduce severity; safe speeds, making sure that people are traveling at an appropriate speed for the context and user mix; safe vehicles, leveraging technology and standards to protect all road users; safe road users, encouraging safe behaviors through education; and then post-crash care, just improving response systems to save lives after a crash. Developing the safety action plan, we established the vision, which for Vision Zero is to eliminate traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries. The consultant that we used for this, Olson, looked at 5 years of crash data from KDOT, that is aggregate data from local police departments. They went through and developed strategies, which are included in the plan, and then made suggestions as far as short, long, and ongoing timeframes. And then we will have a dashboard that is being developed that will monitor crashes annually. That'll be updated. It will always show the past 5 years of crash data for the county. We did engage the community as well for part of this, and we had a survey open to the public. We also promoted in person. We were here at one of the Third Friday events downtown. That was actually a lot of fun, getting to walk around a little bit on my downtime as well. And did get some responses from Baldwin and the surrounding area as well. The key takeaways there, just safety is important to everybody. Distracted driving was a major one that we heard over and over. Also, lots of support for engineering-based solutions, more so than education and enforcement. I think that was what people were more used to seeing. Part of this process was the consultants put together a high injury network, looking at where the most crashes are concentrated. It is really shocking to look at the numbers. Baldwin's high injury network spans just over 1 mile. It's less than 3% of the overall roadways and has 32% of the crashes. This one says 31, but I think we're rounding there. The network highlights key intersections and school zones as critical areas for intervention on this. Key locations here locally were High Street and US 56. That intersection reports frequent angle side impact crashes driven by insufficient turning infrastructure and limited sight lines. And then the Chapel Street school zone with pedestrian crashes in the area that would highlight the need for crosswalk enhancements or traffic calming measures. This is a map of the Baldwin High Injury Network. So the red is the overall high injury network. The yellow is specifically the vulnerable road users high injury network. Vulnerable road users are kind of anyone outside of a vehicle. So that would be cyclists, pedestrians, but also if you're changing your tire on the side of the road and you got hit, you would become a vulnerable road user at that point. I think it was an interesting piece of the community engagement and feedback. We would get responses that this doesn't apply to me. I think a lot of people are familiar with some of the other work that the MPO does, and we're focused on cyclists and pedestrians. This is all road users. All of these included a vehicle. That's part of how they were reported back to the state. So all of those blue dots represent a serious, or the larger blue dots represent a serious injury. The smaller are less severe injuries. And there was not a fatality in this zone in those 5 years studied. This is a quick look at the dashboard. We are finalizing that, actually updating to add the most recent year of data. So it'll have the visual representation of all of the crash data. The goal will be to include safety projects as they are planned and implemented, so we can track how those affect the dots on the map. And this will be available to the public online, so anyone can check on it. The goal would be to reach zero by 2050. Each community ended up with a mix of recommendations. Baldwin has 3 short-term, 1 medium, and 3 ongoing actions to pursue. And short-term are primarily quick build projects, policy development, and then any additional planning that might be useful. Medium includes policies that might need to be developed or high priority roadway reconstruction or changes on the actual roadway. Baldwin covers projects like safe routes to school projects, crossing improvements, and policy considerations for quick build and complete streets. And that's what we've got.
So where does our heritage crosswalk fit into this?
Well, so I'd imagine that would be part of this plan, but it's going to be installed this fall.
Okay.
It wasn't part of the MPO. We submitted an application directly to KDOT for that, and have been awarded it. It just hasn't been implemented. We're waiting for KDOT to get the project going. It's in their hands now, but we do have an update. I mean, that's what I noticed as well. 2 of those big dots on 56 are getting upgraded pedestrian signs.
Yes.
Signage. So,
and that is an interesting part of the process. In Eudora, Church Street was highlighted. They just did some major changes to their pedestrian infrastructure crossing K10 there especially for the school traffic. Lawrence has some rebuilds or recent changes, but it's based off of that 5 years of data. So that's what we had seen. A lot of the new stuff hasn't really affected the data yet. So that will be one of the advantages of the dashboard.
So how is KDOT integrated into this plan? Because a lot of, I would imagine what we would want to see happen doesn't happen unless they say it does.
Sure.
So are they bought into this? Are we communicating with them, or we just take a plan to them and try to get it adopted?
Yes. So KDOT has their Drive to Zero, which is the same process. It's a different branding on the Vision Zero concept. They are more bought in the past. That was something that we heard at those Third Fridays was we've tried this and KDOT said no, or we wanted to do this thing and KDOT said no. They have their own maps with their own high injury network, but then also high risk networks based off of intersection geometry or conditions that they're seeing crashes at other locations that are similar. So KDOT has increased their focus on this, and it has become a priority for them. And they were involved with providing some of the information, but also the grant administration, and will continue on.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Anybody else from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Council discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the Vision Zero Transportation Action Plan Resolution 2025-17 as presented.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, contract for the old motel lot. Russ.
So, just an update on that. We do have a contract that we received from a potential buyer. This is in your packet. We did post it online. Posted it. I think our policy is like a minimum of 10 days. We had it posted greater than 10 days. We posted it back on July 1st. Kind of gave a window accepting bids. We didn't receive any at that time. Later at the end of the month, C had reached out to us and worked through it. Sent them a contract. Amount was $200,000. Need for track fee. The survey that's actually track fee is where the substation is going.
Anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Council discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the contract as presented.
I move to accept the bid from the Baldwin Economic Development Corps in the amount of $250,000 for the lot off Highway 56 south of the police department.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, council committee reports, budget, finance. Scott.
We did meet since our last council meeting. A couple of topics. One of them is the utility bill format that we've been talking about, discussing the format that we're using for the water utility, how and when we could move to that, and also present a more understandable, complete city utility bill. Obviously, there's software limitation potential, so we have to work with what our current systems have or can do, or make a change. So it's just trying to figure both those things out, how to make the utility bills more transparent, like the water bill is, what we're spending on debt, what we're spending on consumption, franchise fee. And then how do we also make what you get every month more understandable? How do we make it clear this is the electric utility portion, and this is the water utility portion, this is the wastewater, this is the trash, this is the recycle. So there's a lot of information that come in on a single bill. And some of the feedback we get from staff is that people see the amount owed, the amount due, right? It's for all those services. And they kind of get in their head, well, that's my electric bill, because a lot of times that's the bigger number. So they see it's a big number, and they kind of conflate that with our electricity is way too costly. So not everybody does it, but we have had feedback that that's some people have just mistake their entire bill for just their electric bill. So if there's a better way we can present that to make it clear that there's 5+ different bills on each month that come due. I mean, one way to do it is you get 5 different bills, which I don't think anybody would support. You know, if you're in another city, that's what they do, right? You get your electric bill from one entity, you get your trash bill from another one, you get it, you know, we consolidate it all because we provide most of it except for the trash. So a lot of discussion about that, you know, continue get feedback, figure out how that would work. And then the timing of that, when would we move to that transparent billing format for electric and wastewater? That's under discussion, what makes sense. And haven't really brought anything forward to the council suggesting a timeline to do that. The other thing we talked about based on the council discussion in the last meeting around the electric utility rate increase, you know, great discussion, a lot of great points brought up. The fact that we really couldn't articulate the, you know, the difference between the demand customers and the non-demand customers. Jay, I think you brought this up, and the impact, which we normally do. There's a lot of discussion about we want to go back and look at that so that we can bring it back and say, well, here's what it is. And if it's something we don't like, we make a change, right? So more information, bring it back. And any proposed rate changes around that would be discussed. I think we're targeting to have that done by the first meeting in September. What is that? What date is that?
First meeting in September.
Yeah, because
September 2nd.
Yeah, so yeah. So any potential rate changes that we just made, if we decide the impact's skewed and we don't like it, then we would have to make another rate change that would start retroactive to August, right? So July is already in the books based on the ordinance we just passed, and then we would make any changes. Hopefully we don't, but we're going to find out. So I think everybody will be more comfortable with why we picked those numbers. So anything you guys want to add to that?
Nope. I think you summed it up good.
That's all we had. And we're meeting this Friday, 7:30 a.m., second floor City Hall.
Yeah. Community development, Corey.
We did meet. We met on the 21st. Had a few agenda items. Russ presented on Vision Zero, which we just discussed. We had a couple of requests to address fireworks. We didn't have any citizens show up, but we kind of went back through the ordinance and didn't really see anything standing out for needing any changes made or suggested any changes made. It's kind of the same data that we had from the year before when we all made a change to the fireworks ordinance. And then we had our kind of rolling food truck discussion going. We went back through it was the one ordinance that Dakota kind of put back together, and we had two people from the public come in, and we all kind of walked through that again and highlighted some things that we want to see transfer on to the next one when that's presented. That is all. We meet again on the 6th. Let's see. Be the 22nd? Yes.
22nd?
Is that right? There are 5 Mondays in August.
Seconds on
Be the 25th. If you meet on the last Monday of the month.
That's what I have on my calendar.
22nd's Friday.
Oh, it's not changing. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I was looking at September. So it's 1, 2. So the fourth Monday, so it'd be the 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it at that. 4 o'clock, second floor, City Hall.
Public safety, Susan.
We have not met since the last meeting. We're scheduled to meet next Tuesday, the 12th at 4 o'clock.
Public Works, Julie.
We have not met since the last meeting. However, I had a discussion with Jeff online today about the delivery of the transformer for the substation. And he said that let's see, he hasn't received a date for delivery yet. However, the testing has been completed on it and okayed by the engineer. So he expects delivery sometime later this month or early September. The pad had 30 days to cure, so it is ready for delivery the second half of August. And Pat is working on getting quotes for the new circuits coming out of the new substation. So just an update for that. And I realized today that I'm going to be gone for the next 2 Thursdays. So it'll be to be determined on what date it's going to be. I would remind people if they come, it's going to be held at the Public Works Building at 9 o'clock, whenever that is.
Show up every
Thursday.
Every Thursday.
All right, strategic plan, Scott.
We have not met, and nothing currently on the calendar.
All right. Any staff comments? Anything from staff? Okay, so I'll go through some of these that we got answered or questioned on. 56 Highway Project. Last update we got, we submitted a request for KDOT to extend our funding up. As people will remember, that project was approved in 2014, 2015, in that time frame, well before anybody in this room was involved in these meetings. So, but the engineers' estimates are higher. I think they're around 2.2 million now. So we've made a request to KDOT to increase their funding to match the increase in the cost of the project. We have not heard back from them. It is accurate that we would have to fund it. That council that approved it didn't have any funding in place. So once we find out from KDOT that if they're going to approve that, then we're going to have to start discussions on the bonding and moving forward with that project. So that is kind of where that project sits. I think I addressed that good. Solar panels, that was discussed a little bit. Kind of the landowners that we had discussed about potentially putting it there decided they did not want to sell. And with the credits falling off by the end of this year, it really doesn't make much feasible sense anymore to move forward. So that project's kind of been delayed indefinitely.
I think, Russ, we heard that a lot of the organizations that put these projects together and do them, they're not interested in doing them.
A lot of the big ones, they're not interested in bidding anything right now until there's more certainty on that. So.
Third generator has been installed. I mean, that was the one that was purchased, the 1.5 megawatt. There's already 3 megawatts out there. The third one we purchased a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, for that.
Yeah, I think
We did 2 generators.
Oh yes, we did 2 new.
2, and then Jeff at one of our meetings mentioned purchasing another one.
Oh,
that was going to be around 800,000.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from any committee that we've moved forward on any of that stuff or recommended any of that.
Yeah.
Based on the conversations we had with Jeff and Finance Committee, it sounds like our generation is in good standing for the next few years. So
I think what they were thinking is if we didn't have any solar or community solar, that another generator would be.
Yeah, and we asked him that in Finance Committee, and he said that KMEA was incorrect on some of their calculations.
Okay.
And so our generation is in very good state.
Okay.
if you remember the capacity discussion we had, and we thought, well, in 27, if we don't do all the GRDA, if we need that capacity, and with that 3 megawatt solar coming on, that would do it. But according to Jeff, now that's not in the works anymore, are we going to have an issue in 27 with capacity? Are we going to have to go by it? And he said that the forecast for our peak, which really sets your capacity requirement, is peak plus 15%, was very aggressive. And I think the amount of capacity credit they were given was off as well. So he was comfortable that we have enough, obviously, energy capability, but more importantly in this discussion, the capacity. without adding solar, which we were concerned we would have a problem if we didn't move forward. So that's good news.
And then Julie, you touched on the substation, so I think that question got answered tonight. So I think that's all. The only other thing I wanted to just mention to the council and see, kind of get feedback on is committee agendas. What your guys' thoughts are submitting the agendas for committee meetings to be placed on the website at least 48 hours before the committees, so that way if any of the public are interested in any of the committee's work, that they can have enough time to schedule and attend those meetings.
Yeah, I love it.
I think that's a good idea.
We did that at first. I think
Yeah.
Laura was kind of heading that and then kind of fell off.
Right.
Thoughts? Any other? You guys
That's fine.
all good with that? Okay. So if you guys could just send your agendas to Lynn and Amra, because they kind of tag team that, and then so Lynn can get them on the website.
I think I've mentioned most of you, but on the council page on the website, there's a section towards the bottom that has all of the committees. And if you click on that, there's a committee page for each committee, and that's where the agenda is.
Okay.
So we can input them ourselves, or we send it to you still?
Send them to me.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So with that, any other council comments? No. Okay. So I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I think we need 20 minutes.
I was thinking 30.
If I give you 30, you take 30. If I give you
If you give me 20, we're taking 35.
I have to come back in.
Right.
29 minutes. That takes us to 9 o'clock.
There you go.
Actually, it takes us to 8:50.
Taking 10 extra.
No, it takes us to 8:50, not 9 o'clock. Okay.
You'll take 10 extra.
All right. So I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session with Terrell Mock, Shay Downing, city council members, myself, there's Russ Harding, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel and for the subject of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel until 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a 40.
You know what? It's your guys' motion. You say whatever time you want. We can go till 8:50. I actually have 2 subjects to talk, but we can come back and go back in. So 8:50 is fine.
So moved.
Until 8:50.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
looking right at you. This was in court.
Oh, we're standing. Okay.
Wait, you matter.
Yeah, same thing, non-elected employees matter.
Right.
Yeah, just we count. 10 minutes. Call the meeting back to order at 8:50. Entertain a motion to go back into executive session for a non-elected employee matter until 9 o'clock for the subject of a non-elected employee matter.
And so move in
With-
the same group except Russ Harden
And Terrell, without Ross and Terrell.
and Terrell, who left.
Yep.
Second.
Moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes.
was. My ankle gave out. It's
9 o'clock. I'll call the meeting back to order and entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Moved and second. All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. Motion passes. We are adjourned.